Well, here is what we are up to today. If you had followed along in the last video, you had seen that we had been working on this truck. We've got the air tank where we need it to be. We've got the hydraulic reservoir mounted. I've got the fittings already hooked into that. Next thing I'll have to do after I get this hoist set up, because that's what we're working on now, is get the PTO and the pump on, that I can hook the hydraulic lines in. Jump over on the other side and start running the hydraulic lines off of the valve body. So what we're doing right at the moment, we're getting ready to cut this frame. Tail hinge is going to pivot from about here. I've got the frame all measured and marked, and I scored it with a grinder. Had it all marked in soapstone, but sometimes the soapstone goes away and then I can't see it anymore with a torch, so I gouged it in with the grinder, and we'll cut this out right here. That's where the tail hinge will set in, and then we'll put a plate on the back side of the frame here. This frame we're cutting, I don't know, what is it, 8 inches, 10 inches of frame. We are 9 inches that we are going to be cutting off of the truck frame. I have pounded this cross member here ahead. Looks like I've got to go just a little bit farther ahead with it so I don't get into it. And then once this frame piece is off in there, we can pull this cross member out and weld in our tail hinge. Well, we'll step over next door here. I forgot to video the 900 going together and pulling out of the shop here. Jared ended up getting that together, pulled that out quick, and then he backed in the green diller. This needs brakes, and he ended up taking the fenders off of it. They were literally falling off. They were rotted out. So we've got a new set of fenders to go on it. And he's got his engine kit back. He's got his parts are here, and he's putting the pistons in right now. So he's got a couple of them in. Number 1 and 6 are in. You can kind of see them there. And he's just kind of slowly assembling it back together. So what's the difference between these pistons and the other ones, Jared?
These ones are aluminum.
And then you said the original ones were aluminum, and the other set that were in here, they were steel?
Yeah.
So there was a bunch of things that led up to the knocking problem. What was one of them? Rods, or the pins were wrong or something that they had in there?
Yeah, the rod bushings were all wore out, like they were never replaced.
So, yeah, that's one of the problems. And the machine shop that's doing, what are they doing? What's he doing right now? So you got stuff back from him yesterday, right?
Yeah, the rods.
The connecting rods back from him. We had a different machine shop do the connecting rods this time around. And he advised Jared to get another set of pistons. That's why we've got a second new set here. And he's just going to dot his I's and cross his T's. The guy at the machine shop doesn't seem to think there was anything wrong with the way it got put back together. Just some problems that were out of Jared's control led up to the problem that he had. So we're hoping that this time around everything goes without any trouble here. So he's slowly putting things back together here. He's got another piston and a connecting rod going in. What do you have to get them rings in a specific spot?
10, 90, 90, 90. Or close to it.
Yeah. So we'll leave him alone. He's got a ring compressor there. He'll compress them rings down, and then he'll very carefully push the piston into place. And then he'll connect the connecting rod to the crank. He's got 1 and 6 are on, and then here is the next one coming in. Use an assembly lube on everything. So we got number 5 going in. Jared, that says AD4.
Mm-hmm. One of them says 7.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, I just thought maybe that was a stamp, meaning that should be connecting rod number 4, but he said there's a stamp in one of them that says 7. So, I don't really know what that is all about. You would think that the rods were numbered opposed to what hole they're supposed to go in.
Rods aren't numbered, main bearings are.
And that one is in. glasses on and grab this piece there.
Oh, I gotta get glass.
Okay, now this is this here.
Sweet.
Perfect. Look at how perfect that is.
Okay.
Well, Jared's got all his pistons in. He's just rolled the engine over, flipped it back over. He had it laying on its side on that tire right there to put the pistons in. Now he's going to get his bolts off the top here that he had used to hook the chain up. What's your next operation? Put the head on? So he's going to grab the head here next. He's got chain holders already on there. And he'll get that put into place, get everything torqued, go through its goofy sequence. And maybe late tomorrow afternoon he'll be ready to set this in there. All of your rod bolts and stuff torqued on the bottom, or you got to do that yet? All done? All right, this is what we have done up to this point. We've got the tail hinge on there, and we ended up putting a hitch on this truck as well. I've got the tail lights just kind of casually bolted there. We'll end up taking them off because we're going to have to paint this. But I just wanted to see how they would kind of mount into place. So we drilled the holes for them. And then what I have left to do is I have to drill the holes for the hose connectors to be able to plug the manure tanker into the truck itself. We ended up putting a drawbar on here, tow hitch. We've got an 1.5 inch hole in this drawbar, which is an 1.5 inch by 3. This drawbar is the same material that the drawbars are made out of for the Ford tractors. We actually keep a length of this on hand so that we can make a new drawbar for these Ford tractors in the event these guys need one. And here is the blue paint here that came off of this bar when I cut it. It's just regular mild steel, same thing they use on the blue tractors. We're just kidding. So I do need to drill larger holes there where the hoses are going to mount. And Sarah ended up getting the hydraulic oil reservoir full. We've got 50 gallons of oil in that reservoir tank. We had bought one of these tanks from Buyers, and it had a freaking spot in it right here. Damn thing leaked. So that's holding oil good right here, right now. And what she has done is she has taken the interior apart on this truck, and we're gonna run the toggle switches up in the ceiling. She has run the air lines down through on the driver's side. We've got enough air lines made for 4 functions. She's got 4 pairs sitting there on the fuel tank. That's gonna come over, plug into the hydraulic valve. We believe we can't get any more air lines down that side than what we have. So she ended up taking this side of the cab apart so that we can bring the air lines over this side, down this post here, down along the floor, underneath the kick panel, run the air line here through a hole that we drilled in the floor, and then we just mounted a marker light grommet in there, and then what we'll do is we'll run the air lines over underneath the cab, run them across the back side of the cab here, and they'll join up with them other ones, run down that frame rail, and bang right into the valve body on that left-hand side. So we've got some fittings to get bolted into the back panel there. I've got to I'm working my way up through from the rear to the front. We'll get the hoist mounted down, and then we can build the bracket for our hydraulic valve for the left side. So that should do it for this video. Jared's got his engine starting to go back together, and when we join up with you with the next video, we should have this ready to have a rail system put on it, and we need to get our PTO mounted along with the hydraulic pump, which the PTO is going to set right down in there. You can just barely see that. Oh, what are they, 7 or 9 bolt covers? So that's going to do it, right? Did you have fun today?
So much.
So much fun. Gonna have even more tomorrow, right?
Yep. Sunday
So,
fun day.
Sunday fun day, that's right. Take it easy, folks. We will catch you at the next video.